Peace and blessings, family. This is your boy, it's Gerald. This is Thursday, the 24th of August, 2017. How is everybody doing? Yes, I know I've been pretty active this week. There's a reason for it all. I will explain it to you in the weeks to come. Why so much activity? But got my coffee and I got something on my spirit that I want to share with you because the fact that I've noticed a pattern, I've noticed a trend, and it is very disturbing. For some, they think that it is harmless. To others, it is beneficial. And to a small, select few, it can be very destructive. What is it you may be thinking? It's your personal information. That's right. Who you are, your vital, intricate information on how you live your life day to day. The importance to some, it can be very destructive. To others, it matters not. You see this a lot with a lot of the people. I'm sorry, I'm being rude. They think it's harmless. I see a train wreck in the distance for a lot of people if they do not reel it in. See, you remember back when you were younger, your parents, your guardians, those who gave a damn about you, that were molding your development through guidance and love and support. They would tell you, watch out for strangers, be careful who you give your time to, but more importantly, watch what you say because you never know who may be listening. And now in 2017, those predators, they're hidden. Some are right there next to you. You may know them as your friends. And I know there may be some people say, well, Joe, I ain't got no friends. You know, I it is what it is. I just am doing me. But what you will come to understand, while you think you are doing you, you are getting done. See, what we're talking about, family, is you are willfully giving your personal information over the superhighway. We're talking about the internet. We're talking about social media. We're talking about keystrokes on a keypad or what's found on this tool, because this is nothing but a tool. But you know what I saw that was had me feel a certain kind of way was I went on a popular site that's been around for a long time and pretty much is the staple of many of your social media indulgence. And you see countless people wanting to research their ancestry, and they are using applications, they are using paying their hard-earned money for information about their past. I remember long ago when I was a little boy, there was one clear-cut way you knew about your family tie. There was always that elder, may have been your great grandparents or your grandmother or your mother. your father, your grandfather, and just through identifying through sight, you would get your conclusion. Fast forward through time, through medicine, we use DNA. We use DNA testing, in which we take the swab off the side of the cheek or gum line to get it processed. And now it has been upgraded to a level now that you see mainstream media running promotional testing using angles of impulse to get you to turn around and contribute to this program. Well, I'm not going to come off like Johnny negative, but the major disconnect in this is we've gotten away from what was tried and true to what was reasonable doubt. And you go on Facebook and you see countless people doing facial recognition, but not putting two and two together. You do understand, family, this tool right here, this tool right here, as long as it's on, that is nothing but your electronic leash. Because as long as there's a tower in the distance that you go past, it marks time. This is something that you have no control of. Every time that you use a credit card and you swipe and insert, it marks time. This is something you do not have control. Every time you make a purchase and that receipt comes out, it marks time. You have no control over it. But what's sad is what you should have control of, which is your personal business, you give freely. I don't know if this was the right movie, but I think it was Minority Report. That's the movie that Tom Cruise did, and the premise was they were detectives that would arrest people for future crimes. And the main tool that was used in that work to, arrest these people was the study of algorithms. Those algorithms are nothing more than your patterns done through electronic means. So every time that you deal with something that has a requirement for an ID or a badge, it marks time. Every time that you have to clock in or clock out for your paycheck, it marks time. You have no control of that. But yet you go on social media and people willfully, with much candor, are vulnerable. They tell you how they feel at that split moment. But yet it's hypocritical because these same people, when the things that matter most should be discussed, don't use that same passion to be vulnerable to express what is wrong, what needs to be corrected, what needs to be fixed. What's wrong with that? Why is it such of an imbalance, but yet you can keystroke what you would say and what you would do? Meanwhile, you forget. You do understand that anything that is placed over the internet is not licensed to you because you don't own the internet. Just like theoretically, you don't own your phone. I know somebody said, I own my phone, Joe. I got all my phones. You own the device, but you do not own the carrier and the service that is used. What's wrong with that, family? Where's the disconnect? But let's not stray away from topic. Let's go back to what matters most. I remember there was a time where you can undoubtedly know, well, he's related to her and she's connected to him. But because of the fact that we refuse to be honest with ourselves, our families are fragmented. Meanwhile, on the spiritual realm, this is when the Jezebel spirit does her best work because what should have most foundation, what should be stronger than a diamond, your family, your legacy. It is under economic, social, and spiritual attack, but yet we do not address it. Why? Why? Maybe the fact that we decided to have a dialogue with ourselves first, we would finally have the foundation to have a dialogue with our strangers. Maybe we'll be able to have communication with our neighbors. Maybe we could actually come to a general consensus on what to do, what matters most, what's important to you. But we vent, we disrespect, we dishonor your lineage. Every moment you cut it on and you vent. You know, we used to call those people internet trolls and internet thugs, and 9 times out of 10, they were contradictions of the profile that they projected. And, you know, usually 9 times out of 10, that was a person that ideology and their viewpoint had them in a place of confusion. And they wanted to use this means to find validity in their existence. At the end of the day, family, is no one's business but yours. That's why I will continue to echo this out until you decide to give a damn about you. Stop yelling about change. Until you decide to fix what is important most, it starts in your home. Stop complaining because you're just giving lip service. But what I find funny, what I find very funny is this. There's still a common denominator that people want to know their history. But on the same side, you have people that want to rewrite it. You'll come to understand, and let me put this out to somebody. I understand that you're confused right now. You're trying to figure it out. But the outlets that you're choosing to find your wisdom are the same outlets that are distracting you from where you should look, and that's inside you. I had to scratch my head. I go on Facebook, and there are countless people, countless, wanting to know their ancestry. If we knew our ancestry, if we knew the value of our family history, you wouldn't need a paternity court. You wouldn't need these judge shows. You wouldn't need Maury Povich and any other person that is making hand over fist off of your insecurity. You would know. Did you hear me? You would know. I remember there was a time that family was the pinnacle of importance. There was someone deemed in your family that was the patriarch or the matriarch of your family, and they chronicle lives, every death, every birth. You would know them because they would have a big Bible, and in that Bible, the genealogy tree was chronicled. You didn't have to doubt. You knew. Now I understand this is a digital age, and every time you turn around, they're closing a library. They're not closing a library because they're running out of space. They're closing the library because they don't want you to know. But the funny thing is, it is not that they're leaving someone at the front door with a shotgun saying you can't educate yourself. They don't have to do that because all that's required is you to enter the doors and seek knowledge. But it is about algorithms. Your algorithms is your pattern. It tracks, traits, and progresses just by a click. Be careful what you put out there in the media, family, because as we turn around, there are still people that will take what you have given, just like a cerebral puzzle, and put things together only to use it against you. We know that is phishing. We also know that this is also a tool for identity theft as well. Now, I understand there are people right now that probably don't want to hear this, and maybe that is the reason why you have no visual of me right now. But you can't stop what God needs to be put out. So don't trip. Don't trip on this, because this is nothing but a ploy. But here's the thing that I found very, very interesting. You do know that anything that is put on the internet is filtered, is reviewed. And you know who gets it? Our beloved federal government. Why? Because we live in a terroristic society. As you already know, that we've had so many issues and incidents where you've had zealous and passionate adolescents that have better, nothing better to do but to wreak havoc to your life. Excuse me. Will you be quiet? I don't know why you're barking. Lay down, be quiet. And you're wondering why your FICA score doesn't look the way you think it should. And you're wondering why, when you look at your credit report and there are things on there that you can't recognize. Why? Because you're turning around and putting things out there that you should keep sacred. But one thing that should not be a secret is your choice to live your life. Your life is precious. You have one. No one is going to do your work. No one is going to see how and what is important to fulfill your purpose. You fail to realize this one thing. Guess what? The things that we leave undone are the same things that will be the challenges for our young. Have you forgot that? Meanwhile, the distractions will continue to be there. They're there for a reason, to keep you off track. So if your importance or focus is about financial freedom, put your perspective where it should be. The person that is in the mirror. But before I let you go, because I know Some of you are starting your day, and I hope that your week is going well. I really do. I also know there are some of you having to deal with the stark reality of things that were hidden, now made present. They're being revealed as it was intended to see what you're going to do or react from it. Stay grounded, stay prayed up, stay vigilant, stay focused, because as long as you do that, your blessing is one step away from being received. And I know some of y'all feel a certain kind of way because of the fact that you're dealing with economic or social or emotional betrayal right now. Who am I talking to? Let me explain something to you. The moment that you acknowledge what exists is the moment that you can initiate change. You must understand this. There are those who have gained access willfully into your life because you opened the door. But if I can give you a little peace, just know this: as long as you're doing the work, where you're going, they can't go. Who am I talking to? So, yes, you're in a state, you're in a moment of breaking off rough edges right now. But by breaking those rough edges off, you're also being able to see how strong you really are. That's your maturity. You're gaining from where you've come from whence you came. And that insight will be your guide. Don't worry if this was where you were supposed to be the end all be all, you be. But just validation in itself, just look where you were 6 months ago. Hmm? Look where you were 2 years ago. Hmm? What about 6 years ago? Does it match where you are today? So don't give up. Go within. And when you decide to truly give yourself what you deserve, you'll see your value and the importance of your self-worth. Who am I talking to? No, the person that's laying next to you can't do it. No, you can't find it in a store. No, you can't imitate it. No, it cannot be persuaded. Why? What's at stake is the real you, family. Until you decide to make sacred sacred, you'll never be able to tap into your strength. And oh yeah, before I go, because I know that the devil's work's never done. That's why you actually thought I was going to stop this information out because you can't see me. Just know the people that need to have access, they hear me because I'm speaking to their spirit. So I don't walk in fear. I walk with God. I'm one of the good ones. And I pray for each and every person that hears my voice. You deserve to have the best life ever. Don't worry. I'm not going to sit up here and BS you, but I will continue to motivate and pray for you. Why? I do it not only for you, but I do it for those who are going to come behind you. So don't give up on yourself. Maybe this is the moment right now. You are just at a point of actually acknowledging what has happened, what is present, and you are required to be still. Maybe this is the moment that you'll finally own your actions. Moment where you finally decide to cry. There's no benefit in walking in pride. You do understand that. That robs you. That's what ages you. It kills you from the inside out. And don't worry, as long as you keep that position, those opportunists that lie in wait, that smile in your face to tell you what you want to hear, they're going to keep doing what they need to do until they're discovered. But let me explain something to you. How do you think your life is going to turn out treating people in such a way? You do know you reap what you sow, right? And so until you repent that and make that right, your life is in delay, family. My kings, you know I love you. From one man to another. You need to get out your own damn way. You can't call yourself a man if you don't have a relationship with God. And let's flip that with you, Queen. Stop looking at your man and start looking within yourself. Because let me explain something. Until you decide to have a relationship with yourself, which the relationship with yourself only comes by way of you having a connection with God. So, in other words, if your partner, your spouse, doesn't have a relationship with God first, they don't have a relationship with themselves. So if they don't have a relationship with themselves, guess what? They'll never have a relationship with you. You will always find another hiccup, another roadblock. You should not feel like to be with this person, you've got to make a concession. You've got to pull teeth. If you're in a relationship and you go to work just to relax, or you dread coming home where you lay your head, let me tell you something. That's not a relationship. That is a sentence. But guess what? Your mate, your companion, the person that should and has earned the right to protect your heart, should be a living example of your state of mind. Who am I talking to? So, in other words, why are you giving your time freely to someone that does not have the tools to build? Because they should have been building on their own. Did you hear me? There's no such thing as being in a relationship by default. Because guess what? The truth of the matter is, one day, what was given freely but not valued will be taken and given to someone else. Who am I talking to? So as long as you, because that's what's going on right now in Queens, society's trying to convince you that a long time ago, you don't need a man. Yes, you do. You need the right one. But if you ain't got a relationship with God, you're going to only attract nothing but little boys and men bodies. And guess what? When you think about it, you basically are kind of half cocked. You're basically leaving the door open because there will not be any protection there. You will not find emotional peace. And that's what a lot of people want. They want to feel comfort. And the only way you can find comfort is to know that you're safe. I wanted you to let that sink in. Because guess what? You do know that physical form, your body, that temple that is made perfect the moment you took your first breath, it is time released. It is going to age. It is going to break down. And guess what? You're going to have some people that you're going to see in a light unlike other before. And I don't wish bad on nobody, but you have some people that will treat your life just like a bus going to nowhere. roll on you for a little bit. I'm gonna catch another one going somewhere else. These are the same people that are running from themselves. But guess what? Here's a connection on that. We are what we attract. So if they're acting sporadic, it's because you're acting sporadic. You got to own it to change it. But I'm going to get off of that because your angels, they're going to protect you today. Some of y'all are going to get some stark news that you already knew, but you was waiting for it to fall off the lips of that, wherever that source was. But just keep this in mind. That lion is still in the brush. And that lion, just as you took your first breath, knew who you are going to become. And he can't afford that. Remember, you can't buy happiness. You can't barter self-esteem. It is cultivated. It is earned. It is you. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your work. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Oh yeah, before I shut this off, you do also know that all social media is it goes in it goes to the federal government. But if you're living your life correctly, you don't have anything to worry about. But if you look and you see, well, how is it that they know? It's because you willfully tell your business. You need to protect it. If not for you, do it for your babies. They deserve much more. Have a blessed day, y'all.